Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the All the Mods 8 Let's Play. This is something you have not seen before, but I am in my creative world right now for this mod pack. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of stuff that I've built in the survival world that's in here. I spend, I would say, right now, 80% of my time in this creative world just messing around with stuff and figuring stuff out. Even here, I had like a whole bunch of colors for my armor back then to check them all out. So yeah, a lot of time actually gets spent on here just to learn, and it's really exciting because I get to play around with really fun ideas that I come up with, because I realize a problem with me and playing Minecraft is that I just think about the function and I'm just like, okay, well, if I do that and it serves its purpose, then, well, that's it. What more extra stuff do I need to do? So I have to talk about a little bit of a backstory here. You used to be able to create Obsidian through an item called, oops, let me get off cheat mode for a second. There used to be an item called the igneous extruder. It's the machine that I used for making my stone and cobble. There used to be a recipe that allowed you to create obsidian, if I remember correctly, but I think because it was that overpowered, they removed it. So instead, if we take a look at obsidian, here are some possible ways to create the item. One of the ways is, of course, with mystical agriculture, so I don't want to do that. So if we look at other options, and this is what I'm trying to do, I'm like, oh, I need to create obsidian. How do I do it? So I'm looking at all these options. I don't know what a heat exchanger is. I don't want to know what a heat exchanger is. Over here you got something from applied energistics. Here you have alchemistry, which I don't even want to go into there because I haven't looked at chemistry since I was in high school. And then you have all these different ice furnaces and custom crafters from Create and stuff. And you're like, okay, is there a way to have renewable infinite obsidian? Well, you can bulk wash magma blocks, I found out, and you can create magma blocks from magma cream. And you know what drops magma cream, right? Magma slimes. And to me, I don't know, magma creams kind of look like bubblegum to me. As a kid, I loved looking at those Rube Goldberg machines in like shopping malls and Walmarts and whatever, where you could put a quarter in and watch like the entire machine pull up a gumball and have it travel through all these mechanics, and then in the end it gives you your candy. And I was like, I want to make something like that. So I played around a bit in creative mode and found some options that we can use. So we got a couple of entity push pullers with entity conveyors from mob grinding utilities, a conveyor belt from industrial foregoing, and also immersive engineering. And then also from immersive engineering, we have a conveyor belt that lets you drag entities up. So that's pretty cool. And then I was trying to think of other ways that we can transport entities and items in fun different ways. And I thought, why not, you know, a classic hopper minecart unloading system. So if you don't know too much redstone, I can show you. Basically, if the hopper minecart has items in it, it will deposit items and lock the minecart in place. And when it's done, it unloads and then it goes back into the track, and then so all the items are deposited into wherever you want. I found a really cool thing with the mob grinding utility entity conveyors. If you drop an item like this, you can kind of watch them bounce from conveyor to conveyor this way. So I definitely want to incorporate that into the machine. And I figured as well, what we could do is we could make it like an actual Gumball machine. So we could say like deposit an item to sort of like imitate putting in a quarter. And so I had to play around with redstone. So normally how I do this in vanilla is I create a hopper clock and I just basically have the items go through a hopper, and then that triggers the hopper clock to go off. Traditionally, hopper clocks uses sticky pistons to create an infinite loop of a timer, but if you replace one of them with a regular piston, I can't speak, sorry, it only cycles it once. So I can demonstrate it real quick. If you just put it in here, you can see it loads up, and then it stops, and that's it. It doesn't go again. By nature, the design of the hopper clock is very compact anyways, but in modern Minecraft, we can compact it even further into just these items here. So to send off a signal, of course, we needed a comparator, but then we have this thing called a pulse extender, which is exactly what we're trying to create with regular redstone items anyways. But then we can also wirelessly transmit this redstone pulse using a redstone link. So we can have a really small system for dropping the coin into the machine. We need a collection system and then a conversion system. So I was playing around with ideas, and I found that the RF Tools utility crafter works really well. I tried other different auto crafters. I felt like more complex, but I felt like this was the best way. But that's my idea. We're gonna make a gumball machine where if you deposit like a coin or something like that, it runs the spawners or the entire machine for 60 seconds so that we can farm obsidian and magma cream if I need it. So let's design the killing chamber first. To push the mobs to some location, where we might use entity conveyors, but they cost quite a bit of iron to make, and I know I don't have a lot. And they cost slime balls, which I don't have either. So I think instead what we'll use is probably a mob fan. We'll kill them by using a mob grinder, I think. So these are kind of costly. These also cost a lot of iron. Let's see, they cost iron spikes, which cost a block of iron and iron swords, and then you need more iron blocks and iron swords. So maybe I can afford to build, say, like 2 of them, let's say. Okay, so let's see how this goes. I'm gonna turn on everything real quick. We're gonna use redstone glass for this because it's a cheap way of getting redstone power. And then in order to get this to spawn, we're just going to right click with the dragon egg. And I think I'm in peaceful right now, so we are going to get back to hard mode because that's what I'm playing on in my survival world. So let's see if this will work. Okay, so it does look like it works, and then the extra slimes, will they die? Yes, they will. So to collect the items, I think we'll use an backpack, and we'll upgrade it with some void upgrades and a magnet upgrade. I think these are the best options, to be honest. So we'll let it pick up everything, but then we'll make sure it voids everything that isn't magma cream. And molten cores can be turned into magma cream. So we'll also set up some sort of conversion thing to disassemble these into magma cream. So you can see here, yeah, that looks really cool. You can see the it's like orange flavored and lemon flavored. I think to divide the items up, we'll use item pipes. So let's get a pipe wrench here. So we'll basically choose one of them to filter out magma cream, and then the other one for molten cores. So let's just say this will take molten cores, and I think to make it look cool, we'll use an andesite funnel to drop it off. Let's make this do sort of like a U shape, and then we'll build around that. So let's get a normal rail to separate the 2 powered lines I want. Then I think we'll have this drop into a crafter, and then we'll also power the crafter with a flux point. So I'll just stick one over here. And I just want to make sure you can deposit stuff into a crafter this way. Yes, okay, perfect. Now we can figure out what to do from here. Unfortunately, we can't replace any of the solid blocks then, but we can make it go around it. So instead, I think we'll just have the item bounce back and forth then. Over on the magma cream track, I think we'll just make like a series of conveyor belts that just kind of looks cool to jump. Yeah, I like that. And I think here will be where we place that crafter, and we'll just collect it again with andesite funnels, because those are cheaper than hoppers, I believe. So let's just do a quick check and see if it falls in correctly. Yes, it does. And then we'll use this thing called the splitting conveyor belt, I think, to separate them into 2 different tracks. And then this is probably where I'll have 2 different lines of conveyor belts. And then we'll separate it by a solid block. Actually, no, we probably want to see both, so we'll separate it by a glass block instead, or some transparent block. So now we're going to put the fans here and let them be surrounded in front with water. And we need them really, really strong. Maybe something like this so that we get some really fast rotational force. And it looks like it reaches pretty much all the way there, so I am pretty happy with that. We can test this out now, I think. So let's just get like half a stack of magma cream and then half a stack of molten cores, and we'll see how this goes. So here we are. So we got stuff going in here. Oh, we don't want that. I guess we just want to shoot then. Okay, take 2. Let's see how this goes now. Alright, so now we can see the magma cream's going. It's going at a decent rate too. The thing's going into the right spot. The cores are going in the right spot. The thing that I was worried about the most was the magma blocks not having time and enough space to convert into obsidian. But I think this split track thing really helps with it. That was a thing that I wanted to improve from the iron farm. So I'm happy with that. Oh, man. Oh, you know what, though? I kind of want the magma cream from the molten core converter to have its own track. And I want the other magma cream track to sort of have its own track, and then they'll both converge into this dropper right here. Alright, so after a while I played around with some designs and ideas, and I finally finished with this. So this is what it looks like. I currently have it surrounded by a red block, but we can make it any color we want. So if there's a comment that suggests a good color, I will do it. So I have the wiring set up already. Like I said, it's a really simple 4 blocks compared to like the 2x5 a traditional hopper clock is. And I'm really happy with this design. Like, This looks really cool, and I want to test this out. So let's go and change the difficulty, and we can drop anything we want into it to activate the magma cube spawner. So I have it set to a minute, I believe. Yes. So for a full minute, the spawner is going to be on, and slimes are going to get pushed into that corner, and they're getting destroyed. And then anything that gets collected will be pushed up here. And you can see the items are getting pushed around. Oh, this is so cool. I don't have this set to extract just yet. So we just need to put a configurator and set this to pull. Very good. And then over here, we also have to set this one to pull. Hey, and it's going off. Yeah, so I set up a note block so that it dings every time we get a magma cream converted. I don't know, I just thought it'd be fun. Maybe it'll get annoying eventually. Alright, so now that this is done, we're gonna have to convert this into a schematic. So we have to mark down the corners of this building like it's a world edit file. So the dimensions go about from that corner to about here where the edge of the water wheel is. So let's just build straight up until we hit, oh wait, we need to go one more further for the fan. So it's this corner right here, and then we'll just build up all the way until we hit, yeah, right there. And then we just got to place down a schematic table, grab this schematic and quill, right click this once, and then right click the other corner, and that will set the drawing. No, hold on. Let's try this again. First position, and then second position, we'll put it right on here. Very good. And then we right click it and call it Obsidian Gumball Machine. And then if we right click the schematic table, you can see that the Obsidian Gumball Machine has been saved to a file, and I can just scroll with my mouse wheel to select what I want. So this building is saved as an actual file on my hard drive now. Now we are back in my survival world, and what we can do is take a schematic and write in the new machine or building that we made. And now this has the properties of the Obsidian Gumball Machine. And so if I right click anywhere, it displays the whole thing for me. But yeah, so all we have to do now is just place it somewhere in this world. And I'm thinking maybe where this hole is, because we can make a room for the spawner much easier this way. Is there anything important around here? Like, is there an open cave system? It looks pretty enclosed, so I am pretty happy building it right on top of this water here. Right now, we're in a plains biome, and over here is, I guess, a whole field of wheat and whatever. I kind of want to save this for, actual farmland, and then the plain area we can sort of repurpose it for like an industrial area. I feel like I'm really a big fan of the idea that like we should have different farms and bases in all these different biomes for different purposes. So if anyone has a theme and an idea that they want to suggest, like, feel free to leave it in the comments. But yeah, let's just move it at a certain spot. Yeah, you know what? I think this is perfect. All we gotta do now is grab that schematic cannon, and we'll also grab a chest. And all we gotta do is just place the cannon here and place the chest here. And then we can put the schematic in here. However, we need materials. We need to fill this chest up with the materials to build this with, and I don't know what the entire list is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make an item called the clipboard. You can also do this with a book, I believe, but this is more fun. That creates the clipboard. We deposit it in, and now we have an entire list of what we need. So now I just have to make all of this. So as I'm crafting and making all of my items, I'm just checking them off one by one. But one of the things that I have to make that isn't in the checklist is a configurator. This is Mechanism's version of the wrench. Making one of those, and then grabbing a lapis and a stick. Then boom, that makes that. And we can charge it because it's in our hotbar and we have wireless charging available. So yeah, unfortunately this wrench, Mechanism's wrench effectively does use energy, but because it is considered a wrench, we can actually add it to the Morpho tool, and we have 3 different wrenches now. I have hit a snag in my production process. I need these fan upgrades that modify the height, width, and distance that the fans will blow at, and I need feathers. And of course, the fastest way to get feathers would be to kill chickens. All the other methods I don't really think I have any, so we need chickens, and I don't got any. I want to show a little glimpse of what is going to be coming in the future for future projects. And in order to do so, we need to create a item called the XP drain. This is the cheapest thing I could make in order to do this. So we need 2 IO vendors, an iron bar, and a singularity tank, which is iron and glass. And I am getting worried because I am running out of iron. So how this thing works is if you step on it, your XP starts getting drained and you get to store it in, well, liquid form. You can see here there's 1.2 buckets of it. So all I need to do is right click with a bucket to extract it. And I need this because we are going to take one of these mob swabs. I'm going to choose specifically the chicken DNA. We're going to need that plus the XP bucket, and then we need a seed. And if we combine the swab, the seed, and the fluid XP bucket, we get chicken feed, specifically with the chicken DNA. I have 1 chicken in my island right now. And, well, I'm going to feed it that. But what it produced is a spawn egg. And this is the core mechanic of what I am using to make any mob I want appear in my world. And that's going to solve my feather issue. But the possibilities of making any type of farm you want with this is really powerful. And I'm going to take advantage of that to the fullest extent later on in this series. Uh-oh. It officially happened. I ran out of iron. I only have 27 nuggets left. Surely, in the time I spent running around and building, I have some in this farm. Oh, thank goodness. And perfect. Whew. After a couple of hours of resource gathering, I finally have all the materials needed to make this build. Unfortunately, I am out of iron, but I did find a cool thing about gunpowder. You can actually smelt, no wait, not smelt, you can actually crush flint to make gunpowder, which I guess makes sense. I just didn't think about it. So if I ever need an excessive amount of gunpowder, I don't need to farm gas or creeper. I have a bunch of flint right here in my pulverizer right here. Let's do this. Here we go. So it's clearing all the blocks. Oh, it's starting. The grass is kind of getting in the way, but and the pipes are not really updated. I think if I just like smack it once or something, it will. No, okay. Do I have a magma slime DNA? I don't. No. Then, but let's just enjoy a time lapse of this going through. And no, I placed the magma cube spawner in here, and when the schematic cannon shot it, it became a pig spawner. No. Alright, so it's complete. Well, not necessarily, because some stuff's been skipped. But yeah, I mean, you can see some of the blocks are not in the correct orientation, and some blocks are not even placed correctly. That's usually the problem when it comes to automation and making stuff, you know, from these types of machines and stuff. So a lot of these I'll probably have to, you know, manually replace and fix, which, I mean, I can't really complain. A lot of the heavy lifting has been pretty much done. Give me 1 second and I'm just going to fill up the water on all the parts that I need to and fix all the incorrect blocks, and I will be right back. Oh, this is interesting. So this conveyor belt is pointing this way, but it's pushing me this way. So the schematic cannon knows what orientation it is, but I'm guessing it's a bug or something that makes the block visually not be oriented the right way. So, I worked on this for another few hours, and it's pretty much almost there. The spawner is now a magma cube spawner. I had to go find the magma cube in the nether to get another egg. The grinder over there now has looting 10 and sharpness 10 inside it, and let me just show you how much damage it does if I go into it. So boom. Oh, hold on, I'm scared. Come on. Wait. Oh gosh. Yeah, so it does a ton of damage now. There's an access hatch over here if I ever want to come in and change some stuff. And then over down here, I also have a lever that I can turn on or off to make the spawner permanently on in case we ever get sick of doing the whole put a coin in and stuff. One thing I discovered though was that some of the items that fly off from this conveyor belt goes past the chute, and it actually, there's a gap between the chute and the pipe, and sometimes all the obsidian falls into the crevice in the middle. So my solution, it's not the best solution, and so I have to keep this in mind for next time, is I'm going to add a magnet upgrade to this, except I'm only going to allow obsidian to be picked up from this chest. So if I have any strays, it will just get picked up. However, the problem with that is now anything that goes off these conveyor belts don't actually get carried by those conveyor belts, which sucks, but at least it's better than losing all the obsidian. So I'll have to keep that in mind for next build instead. I also find having glass at the back of the whole machine feels a bit distracting from all the moving parts, so I kind of want to make it into opaque blocks. And originally I thought, you know, we could just cover it up in red, but then I thought maybe what we could do is do some pixel art. So if anyone has a good suggestion on what I should put at the back of this machine, the first best suggestion, I'll probably do it. But more or less, I would say this build project is complete. All that's really left to do now is to, hold on, let me turn this magnet on. Yeah, okay. So all that's left to do, like I was saying, is we could just do a quick test run. So let's go ahead and come down here and we'll flip this switch on. And now we should start seeing items come out of the pipe now. Yes. Why are shards going up? Oh, you know what? I think I have to set the void mode to not overflow, but any. So if the chest picks up any of those fire shards, it just deletes it. Let's see if we could see the cores get dropped off here as well from this funnel. Oh, yeah, there we go. I think, if I were to change something, is I think I want to see the molten cores get dropped off on this rail instead. You know what? We can change that really quickly. Yeah, that looks a lot better. I like seeing it drop right on the bottom of the rail. I should probably put up some sort of sign at the top that just sort of says like Gumball, or I don't know. We can all decide on whatever it is, but I think this building is done and we can do a quick test run, and I think we'll make the coins just gold nuggets or something. And so if we drop it, it should activate the... I don't see... Oh, wait, no, it's on. Yeah! So, the subtitles are saying it's on. We can see the magma cubes and molten cores come up. And once they're up, we can watch the magma cubes bounce around and drop into the conveyor, and then fly across these conveyors and go into the crafter. And then over here, we can see the molten cores get dropped down and get picked up by the hopper minecart and depositing into the other crafter that disassembles them into more magma cream. And then we can see all the magma cubes, or magma blocks rather, get converted into obsidian. And then anything that's potentially getting spilt over is getting picked up by the oak barrel now. And look at that, we're already at 207 obsidian. Okay, so I think that's gonna be it for this episode. A lot has happened today, and I should let you all know that I am actually going to be flying out to Hong Kong and visiting my grandparents for a couple of weeks. By the time this video is out, I'm probably already there, and I'm hoping that I have a good amount of videos in the time that I'm gone, still ready in queue for you to watch. As of right now, I don't know if I will have the time to record and edit it all. But yeah, I will be back in the second week of November. So yeah, because of this long trip I will be making, I decided to make this video in this sort of format, with a lot being done in creative mode and then building it in survival mode. Let me know what you think about that format, because I'm not really sure if that's enjoyable to watch or not. Definitely some builds I will do in pure survival, but I will see what people think about this creative and survival combination, where I designed the majority of the build in creative mode and then just schematic cannon or get a builder of some sort to build it for me. If I had more time, I definitely would just do the whole thing in survival mode, but like I said, because of time constraints, I'm wanting to get this build finished and uploaded. I decided to do it this way. Alright, so I hope you all enjoyed watching this one, and I'll see you all next time, alright? Take care. Bye bye.